Feels great.
Thanks for joining us.
Evan Randall is motherfucking Bing chilling. You already know it.
Big
Thank you, Marvin.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Perfect. Hey. Welcome to a new podcast with CPS. Introduce yourselves, fellows.
Hi.
My name's Marvin.
Hi, I'm Declan.
I'm Anthony.
I'm Aiden. We are CPS.
Welcome. These guys just played at Purple Party and they did awesome. They introduce yourself, like where are you guys from? Like where you guys started, like give yourself a little like backstory.
We started playing at my grandma's house. This used to be a different lineup with my friends Kevin, John, and Eric. But things get busy when you go to college and
True.
can't always have everything. But these guys are the fucking best.
Yes, they are. There's gonna be a lot of videos coming out. They're good.
So once I started going up to college in Albany, I met Declan, and I knew that if I ever needed a drummer, this was the guy to go to. And me and Aiden here met when we were a lot younger through one of my other bands. We met through like going to shows in the New York City DIY scene when we were in high school. And so I called these guys together, and now this is CPS.
And what's it stands for?
CPS can stand for whatever you want it to stand for.
Okay.
Anything.
Okay. Anything?
Yeah, you can make it up, and that can be CPS for you.
It's true. Okay. So they are on a tour right now. So they're currently doing a couple pit stops year round. And we literally, like, they weren't, like, they couldn't play at Purple Party. That was the whole thing. And then, like, last second, you guys texted me at the right time. And I was, like, happy. I was like, damn, yes, perfect. And, like, I was like, you know what? They have to play. Because it makes sense. It's, like, I didn't want to do too many bands. And then this is where, and then I met them, I tell you where I met you guys. Well, I met Anthony first at, like, on Pink Show. And then we just, like, chatted. And then I didn't know he was in a band until, like, I saw his Instagram and everything. I was like, yeah, he's in a band. And then when did he play? And then he played at March Madness. That's when I met the whole full band. And then you guys opened with Lady Bird, right? No.
Yeah, we played with Lady Bird.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, how do you know them a little bit? How did that, like...
Well, funny enough, Lady Bird is my partner.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we both go to St. Rose together. She happened to just graduate this semester.
Okay.
But she's very popular in the New York area, and especially in the Albany scene. I was roommates with their drummer, Evan, a.k.a. Big Chilling. And then the homies, Aaron on bass, and then Matt Mayrano on guitar. So all those guys are really close to us. So
yeah, they played good. At March Madness, they played for Lady Bird, and then CPS played. And everyone, like, honestly, I always look at crowds at parties, and the crowd always went ham and jumped. And that's the main thing. Like, if, like, a band creates, like, a little crowd or, like, people, like, literally moving around like crazy, that shows it's a lot of energy in the sets you guys put in. It's, like, that's honestly great. Like, you guys did, like, all the time good. Like keep going.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And thank you for joining this podcast. Like,
of course.
We're going to go into a lot of detail. We have 1 more minute for introductions, and we're going to talk about... First thing we're going to talk about is how they kind of started and how it started from then. And then we're going to talk about Purple Party. And they're going to talk about their new music. And they're going to talk about their old music. And they're going to also talk about, what's the last topic? I forgot.
Just tour.
The tour they're on. Like, literally, I don't see a lot of bands go on tour and hitting different locations in 10 hours. Like props to you guys, and that shows, like, it's work. That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
You have any other comments before we start the topics? Or anything you guys want to do?
We've been chilling.
We've been chilling. Shout out John Pork.
Shout out to him.
Shout out Marvin Beak. Different Marvin.
Wait, there's another Marvin?
It's a different Marvin, yeah.
Wait, how is
Marvin
he?
Beak.
But, like, what type of person is he? Like, Marvins are interesting. Like, that's funny.
Nah, he's crazy.
What? Wait, 1 second. Okay. That's my sister. That's so funny.
No, you can't cut it.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Wait, let me first. We go. Okay, so we're gonna start now the introduction of how they kind of started and how things go, because usually it's always the first thing for everything, and start it off.
Yeah.
I hear this. I love hearing things.
So I was kind of all over the place when it like came to music and just like trying to like figure out what I wanted to play. Like my first like real instrument was the cello. I played that for like 2-3 years, and it was fun. I definitely want to get back into it at some point, but I don't know, just like forcing someone to practice just like it doesn't turn out well, so I kind of quit it. But a couple of years later, I started doing like percussion in middle school, but like I didn't really take it that seriously. Mm-hmm. But like the first like real instrument that I like really got serious about was the bass. So I really started with that, like just like fucking like learning tabs and just like playing the songs and shit. But
So just you naturally just drifted to it. You just always like played, like you kept going.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I did like 8th grade like rock band club in middle school. That was fun. But again, once 8th grade came around, like I got my first real drum set. So it was like an old like kit from the 90s that our neighbor gave us. So after that, it's just been that's kind of really where it took off for me. Like that's where I really started to get serious about music, and that was where I like kind of realized that like I wanted to like pursue something in music. So yeah, so I've been playing drums for about 8-9 years now. So, and I've only started playing live, like in front of people, like for
like this band, or you just in general?
Like in general, like
okay.
Outside of like school stuff, like I started playing like live like last year. So I'm still kind of new to the game, but got some work to do.
How about you, Anthony?
Well, it's really funny because Declan's first instrument that he really cared about was bass, and the first instrument that I started playing was the drums, and now we play the opposite instruments in CPS. Mm-hmm. But I started in like elementary school band playing drums, which it was funny because I initially just wanted to like always switch my instrument. Like I wanted to play sax, like French horn. But then I really started caring about the drums more, and then once I got into middle school, there was abundance of a couple more drummers, and so I wasn't able to play the drum set for the band as much, so I wanted to do something that, and I'm not just sit around, so I started to pick up the bass in 6th grade, and then I was playing that for a while, and my mom saw me playing bass kind of like a guitar, and she said, well, you might as well just start playing guitar. So she bought me my first guitar, and then like a week later, we went to my aunt's house, and she figured out that I started learning guitar. So she gave me her husband's old guitar. So like right off the bat, I guess I started having like a collection of guitars, which kind of just fueled me to keep like wanting more and more. And now I have like over 20, and moving is a fucking pain in the ass, which I'm doing right now. I have to move like 4 drum kits, like 20 guitars, like 8 amps, like a crap ton of stuff. And but ironically now I get to go on tour and make some money playing the bass like it's a guitar. So I guess it worked out.
Yeah.
And then I joined my first band in high school. They were called The Dead Are Living, and I played drums in that band. Kind of like a metalcore band, and I had a lot of fun. And then I joined another band called Split with my friend Dante, who's now in this really big band called Anxious. They've been touring with Prince Daddy and the Hyena. And then after that, I joined this band called the Rat Bastards with one of my best friends, John. And then when that band ended, me and John started CPS together while we were still in high school. And so we got our friends Kevin and Eric to join us. And that's where all the writing and recording for our album 1087 that came out was done.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of music pushing from one thing to another, like it just, okay. How are you?
And I started playing guitar around like 9 or 10, and I was self-taught, so it's kind of been like that way ever since, because I'm still like primarily like learning like by myself But it's been like I when I went to high school, I joined my first band, and that band kind of like evolved into this band that I'm currently in, Fervor, and that's more of like more like sludgy, doom maybe, but like
It's fine.
but that was the first project that I was like really like involved in creatively. But CPS, me and Anthony started talking more when I actually needed a fill-in for the drummer for Fervor, and we started hanging out more, started talking, getting to know each other more, and then we ended up going to college together for a semester, and that's how I met Declan too. Because
So the whole gang came together.
that one semester.
Our one semester in Albany. Shit was crazy.
Albany upstate. I heard a lot of stories about upstate. It's been wild. They've been there a
That's
couple
wild.
times with friends. But yeah, it is wild.
Yeah,
Albany is just fucking crazy. Like
Pre-COVID or after COVID? Was this?
we got there after COVID.
Okay.
You got there.
I came there like the height of COVID.
Yeah.
So, like again, like during that time, like I kept hearing shit about like the Albany like music scene. Like it was fucking like wild. Like there were so many fucking great players, but I didn't really learn or like really like understand how crazy it was until like this year or like last year. I would say, because I was fucking stuck in my dorm room the whole time. So like I couldn't play with anybody. Couldn't like do shit. So I just practiced.
But for reference, Declan's gonna be a senior in college, and I'll be a junior. I'm a year behind, and then Aiden is a year behind.
I'm
me.
unemployed.
It's okay.
No, I'm just like working on solo music right now. Kind of just taking music lessons.
And focus on one thing, and then you create something out of it. And like you just keep building on top of it. Like Rome wasn't built overnight. Like you literally keep itching at it, and then you create this giant thing. Like really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the introduction. We're moving on to the next topic. Let's go.
Virginia Skinwalker.
The Skinwalkers, yeah. Hello. Welcome to the second segment, Purple Party. So, Purple Party was literally a fun night. I had CPS play, Grandmas, and Parallel Lines. And at first, planning parties is pretty like kind of hectic at times because you have to like chat with different people. At first, it was supposed to be Empire Outlets, but then something happened with that venue. And I was like, you know what, okay. Then Flagship was already kind of open. They had no events that day, so like I had my friend Jonathan come in and talk to them because he has the connects with them. And like, oh yeah, we're doing a Flagship. And I found that out like the week of, so I was like, where is like, it's like the party was kind of open. And I was going to do it like, I had another bar just in case, but like Flagship was more space, more open.
Yeah.
People could walk around, people were drinks, there was like outside too to smoke, and then you had the block.
Yeah, like fucking like their own fucking brewery.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally,
it was
they had,
really
their
cool.
beers are strong. I kept having the sangria, and like I was off too. I was already like, damn, I'm good. Like I can't get no more. Like I had to get water.
Off the juice.
Like that shit. And my parents made empanadas, so I was giving out that like, yo, everyone want to get chicken and cheese. Everyone was like, it was gone. Like we
So
made like
good.
100 gone like within the 2 hours. It was
I'm
like,
so fucking bummed
what
I didn't
the
get a
fuck?
single one.
you did it?
No.
No. Next
Next
time I
time.
save you guys 100%.
Awesome.
And then what else happened? Then we had to cut off the music around 12, so we just moved the DJ and everything to the outside section, and then we just partied next there. We just kept listening to music. Shout out to Dylan, Tom on the DJ. I made the playlist. We were like practicing in my house, like yo, making sure that like everything's good for that. And then it was honestly fun. Honestly, it was fun. It was guys here and there set and playing. They did fucking awesome.
It was really loud. I will say that's the one thing
Yeah,
about
like
Flagship Brewery.
It was
Yeah, they were loud.
I fucks with it though. It was sick.
I need to get a new battery pack right here.
Oh,
Hey, keep talking. No, keep talking. It's
Oh,
still
all
hearing.
Alright, word. Yeah.
We're just not switching.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting like the
It's very
room to be
reverby.
as big, but like
Yeah,
that's
it
still
was
really cool.
like spacious.
Yeah,
it's fun
just-
playing in Staten though.
Yeah, the reverb went crazy in that spot.
Yeah, we were
in
making
that
sure the
space.
speaker. There was like 4 different speakers connected. There was on the floor. There was on the side. That's another thing. On next party, I want to make sure the sound is like, because every little thing is important for like part, like the sound. Next
Yeah.
time I'm gonna hire like just a sound guy to make sure that's good. The bands can actually play because I have the band jumping here and there.
Yo, PSA, if you're going to Marvin's party, you bring earplugs.
Earplugs,
Yeah.
yes. Cause my
One-
ears the next day, I woke up like couldn't hear nothing. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I had to walk outside to like be like, am I alive? Like, am I human? I was shocked. I was shocked. 'Cause everyone played hard. And I kept like, it was so good.
One flaw about CPS is that there's a disappearance of earplugs and headphones throughout all of our tours that we've been on.
You're always losing
we
shit.
like go through so many, and they're like so expensive now because like we don't get like the I mean,
foam ones.
unless we're like really struggling and like the only things open is like an Ace, but like I just got these like really nice
Yeah,
like,
$50
headphones,
pair,
Damn.
gone 3
and
days.
these earplugs to make it better, and it was so awesome like the first 3 nights of tour and then or first 4 nights or whatever, and then I lost them on the way to Staten Island. So and this was like the most reverbed out room, like verbed out room. So like it was.
Yeah, that sound bounced. It was like, and it came back. So it was just like, oh wow.
But that's another thing about the band is like we
We bring big ass amps.
like to make it an experience. We like to bring like like we could bring like really small amps and plug them through PAs, but like it doesn't
Where's the
hit
fun in
the
that?
same way.
Yeah, there's
when-
no fun in that.
Loudness.
There's just this like cacophony of like sound coming through the 3 of us. I think it's really.
Yo, we're the next Sleep.
Chill.
I'm kidding.
Yo,
Get the next CPS.
Yeah.
That be your own.
exactly.
One and only.
We're the one and only
That
CPS.
is a good. No, that is a good album. Though. That's so fucking lit. Like they played so good. Like it was good. And then the first time you guys played for it was March Madness.
Yeah.
That was a
That
fun
was
event.
fun.
That was.
The only thing
one
is,
of
it
the
was
fucking
annoying
best
about
shows.
that. It was we had to cut off times, but
It was still really fun
it was so
show.
good though.
like,
It was so fucking wow. It was good.
the pit was crazy. There's just pictures from that show of the crowd just being insane. And on
You
Pink set,
Looked like you were like
my
transforming
God.
into.
Fucking
There's so many
Berlin,
photos of like
no.
ants like mouth like looking like he's like
Yeah, and you
transforming
coming
into
out,
a
you're like,
He's
werewolf.
a
or
fucking
some
like
shit.
Yeah.
python about to like unhinge his jaw.
Yeah.
I love how you released your hair. Keep doing that.
Oh,
That's
thank
fucking
you.
good.
yeah, on Pink set was crazy. They had a UFC boxing in the back.
Oh, yeah, that was
shit
me
was
playing
crazy.
random
That was
shit in the back.
Little shout out, I got the on Pink tattoo. Hold up.
Lanny has
Already know.
Shout out on Pig.
Shout out on Pink.
Shout out all those homies.
Tom, Dan, and Joe.
Yeah. Dan's in fucking
Danny
he
was just in
played
Alaska.
Played in
Crazy.
Anchorage,
Yo,
Alaska.
shout out
with,
Lip Critic. Got
shout out
the
Lip
got the
Critic.
merch.
He was playing
Yeah.
with the rapper Lil Darky.
Yeah, he's like a drummer for them. He got signed.
Yeah.
It's like, it's good. He's going around. They pay for everything. That's
played in
fucking
Europe.
Good.
Good for him, man.
Good for
That dude
Dan.
fucking deserves it.
Joe and
Yeah,
Danny
it
played
does.
for Laura Elliott. That was crazy. She just featured on the Cisco album. You gotta listen to that.
Yo,
That was
I have
crazy.
to- I have to listen to it then.
It's like the best music I ever heard.
Mhm.
Cisco Swank.
It's too good.
So
It's
sorry.
too
Okay.
good.
Just dropped an album called More Better. It's amazing.
Okay.
It's crazy.
I want to listen to that tonight.
Shout out Disco. Shout out Wiring. Shout
Shout out Wiring.
Wins.
Shout out
Thanks.
everybody.
Connor Gibson.
Shout
Yo, shout out Winky's podcast.
Yo.
Only the real ones know Winky's podcast.
Oh yeah, that was Pauper Party, pretty much mayhem, craziness, and next topic. No, that was 6 minutes. That's so good. Now we're gonna talk about their new music and their new process. In the end, we're gonna listen to a little snippet of it, and I want Anthony to take the fucking floor. Go.
So where I left off with that last band Winky's podcast,
Winkies.
I actually got a chance to fill in for Aiden's solo project Green at Transpecos in Queens. And there I actually got to see Winky's podcast right before they broke up. And honestly, that was one of the best bands I ever got to see. Their music is incredible. It's only on SoundCloud. Like, they never got to, like, fully release it, and it's a shame. But so in that show, I got to see some great music, and it inspired me so much that I went back to my college dorm in Albany, and I started writing a song in like the Midwest emo tuning that my friend Haywood showed me.
Shout out Haywood.
Shout out Haywood Shorts.
Shout out Orbiting Trees.
So I started messing around with that and some like cool bar chords and stuff, and I ended up with
what ended up becoming the F song, which will be the first song on our new album that'll come out eventually. We just finished the main session for it. But so that inspired me, and it's like basically this 10-minute like prog rock fucking
10-minute song
thing. Yeah, it's like a 10-minute song. It's crazy. That was the song we closed with at your show. And it has a little Easter egg for you Midwest emo fans who love your F tuning. And then we, over the summer, this last summer that just passed, I was messing around out at my grandma's house and messing around with my pedal board. I use a whammy pedal on my pedal board, and I was just thinking about the settings on it, because we have this song on 1087 called Foos, where I pretty much play the whammy pedal rather than bass. So I wanted to write another song like that. So there's going to be a song like that on the new album. It doesn't have a name yet, unfortunately, most of our songs.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, we've been calling this one
Untitled
New
number.
for the people that know that it's called New. And then one time Aiden was over at my house when we were practicing for Fervor, when I was filling in, and he showed me drop C tuning, because Fervor uses a lot of drop C tuning. And like right off the bat, I was playing Kevin's 12-string Hagstrom guitar that he tuned to drop C.
amazing.
And then I just immediately like pretty much like wrote the whole song in one night, and then that was it. And then I added a little bit more later on, and the song's amazing. It does. Both of these songs that I've just talked about do have vocals. We've been playing them live without vocals, but you'll hear them eventually.
Okay, I can't wait.
It's a lot of work.
And what's the next, like, the whole, he's going to drop it as a track, or you're going to drop it the whole thing?
We're probably gonna drop one single, probably either of the songs that I was just talking about, but there's gonna be 5 songs total. It's gonna be a pretty long album though. We got the 10-minute song. These other songs are maybe like 4 or 5.
So you're going to be like 10 songs on the album, or
5.
15?
5 songs on the album.
That's a good number.
The next song on the album is gonna be another new of the new series. This one I wrote. I started writing this one shortly after my grandma passed away, and just like alone in my mom's house with my acoustic guitar. And I mean, the influences on that one song is like really weird. They come from the most obscure places. But overall, I think it's a really beautiful song. There's like a really cool bass solo at the end with a lot of harmonics. Like, I'm not really one to play jazz, although I do love listening to jazz. But I would say it's like the closest to jazz CPS is gonna get, as far as I know.
So the new song you're slipping in the end, what's the name of it?
Probably that's gonna be the first new.
The first new, okay.
Which we need real fucking song names, goddamn.
Okay.
New number 1.
Is this one a little jazzy or no jazzy?
Nah, this one's like the
more
very whammy pedal, very heavy.
Okay, good. Okay.
And the last song on the album is one that we pretty much wrote together, which is one of the only. Well, no, a lot of the songs have like on 1087 had some co-writing, but it was more like writing the very main. Like I wrote the very main structure, and then like everybody kind of either added their part or added some like nuances to the song. And the same thing with most of the songs on this album, but with this song, we really we did it together, and I love it. The song came out amazing. It's like 15 minutes. The first half of the song is like oddly very happy for some reason. Stuff parts and riffs that sound like Winky's podcast, and then it gets very heavy after that. There's a drum solo. We do some hardcore riffs, some thrash riffs, and then we, for once in our musical careers, we do something slow for a while.
Thank God.
Take it easy for
A
a
little
second.
slow, some
Little
guitar
breather.
solos.
Little breather.
Yeah.
Whenever I make a movie, you guys have to do the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh, we'd be down.
Because there's a couple ideas like speed racing cars or like.
Oh,
crashes,
that'd be
like-
amazing.
But yeah, keep it. No, that's fucking fire.
Yeah, funny enough,
That's fucking.
with the song that we were just talking about, like we finished writing like the last pieces like 15 minutes before we recorded it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
a
a little anxious.
It was
little interesting. Shout out
Yeah.
Joey Polito for dealing with our bullshit
Facts.
and our dumbasses.
Yeah.
No, you guys are not dumb.
Joe Polito's the best.
Love him.
If you ever need to record your music, go to Joe Polito. He's the best in the world, best in the game.
Shout out Joe. Okay, now we're moving on to the next topic. Would be the old music.
Forgot that was fucking
You guys
playing.
ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this part, we're gonna go over their old music, their like beginnings of old music, and what's currently out. What's the name of the album? Tell me about it. Like, how did it start? Did it start with a talk or a session? Go off.
So
We in the heat, guys.
it's called 1087, because
1087.
that's actually where it was recorded. It was at my grandma's house in Brooklyn. It was 1087. Unfortunately, we had to sell the house, so I don't really mind, like, advertising that that's the address.
Yeah.
Like, it's no, we don't.
Yeah,
not
just the
gonna live
number
there anymore.
1087. Like,
It's the memories. It's just like
so good.
the old lineup, like me, John, Kevin, and Eric. Like, we kind of all grew up like playing music in that house together. So it's just like all the memories commemorated into one name. And so yeah, like we started playing in high school. Me and John. The first, I guess, like ever trace of CPS was on our old band's Instagram account. Me and John posted a video during COVID of us playing the first song on the album called Haze, which is dedicated to my grandma. That was her last name. It's just an instrumental song, but I used to play it for her. So, yeah.
Shout out grandma.
Yeah. It's about grandma without me saying anything. But
1087 was like, that was the album that I heard like before I joined, before I heard all the new stuff that we ended up recording with the new lineup. So like, when I saw the original lineup of CPS first at this place called Sovereigns in Brooklyn, and I told Anthony, even when we weren't talking, I was like, this is just like the like thickest sounding like trio I've heard like ever in the scene. And like I just started like going to more shows, and then we started working together, and we knew each other previously. So. But
Yeah.
I fucking love 1087.
Yeah, my first time like hearing like anything from 1087 was last September at Caesar's Palace, R.I.P. But that was a crazy night because it was you, Kevin, and John. You guys were in the
we did
the
corpse
black
paint.
metal corpse paint, and it was like my first like. Anthony's been telling me like about his like band and stuff, but I left school to like take a semester off, so I didn't really get to hear like anything until like this past year, and like soon as I heard like the first note, like my fucking mind was blown, and like just like trying to like catch up, like trying to like hear what they were doing, I couldn't wrap my head around it. So like especially when he asked me to like fill in for some shows, it kind of kept me up at night, like trying to like figure out what the fuck John was playing, like what these time signatures were, like how he's able to do it, and how he's able to like keep the stamina up, like doing all of this.
Good.
But
The first show was at Caesar's Palace, or
no.
what was the first show?
Our first show as CPS was at this place that Aiden was talking about, Sovereigns. It used to be called Arrogant Swine. And so our very, very first show, John actually couldn't make it. And we didn't find that out until really too late, until the show was like already set in stone. People were coming. So I recorded all of the drum tracks. I was like the first thing I ever recorded, pretty much. Like, I just got mics and an interface for the first
You
time.
were like, no, we gotta get this done.
And yeah, I recorded drums, and so me and Kevin played to the drum track on stage that night, and then we actually played there a week later with Fervor
Yeah.
and with John. And after that, we all went to college, so it was a little bit harder. But me and Kevin both got to play our first out-of-state show ever in Andover, Massachusetts, another show booked by Haywood. And John wasn't able to make it to that. So for the last time, we played to drum tracks. And that was an amazing show. And we actually had our friend Frankie from the band Jade Tourniquet hop on for our last song. We played Make It Yours.
Shout out, Frankie.
Shout out Frankie. Shout out Jade Tourniquet. That was awesome. And then after that, Eric joined the band, and we got signed to my college's record label, Rose Record Label Group, with a distro deal. So they just distributed our first 2 singles under our old name, Campbell's Purple Soup. And so we did that, and we got our first show ever booked with the 4 of us in Syracuse, of all places. Eric went there for college, and now he dropped out and he works for Dweezil Zappa in California. So, good shit, my boy, if you're watching this.
Yo, shout out to Dweezil Zappa.
But, so this is a crazy story that I definitely need to tell on the podcast. I think everybody needs to hear this. If you want to make it into a whole nother segment, like, we could do that if it's, like, better for time.
So, how long do you think?
A while. It's going to be a while.
Okay.
It's a very long story.
Can you do that and transition to the world tour? The tour.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
World tour.
World
2024.
World Tour 2024. South America.
Our manager's starting.
Welcome back. This is the last segment of the podcast with CPS. And we're going to go over their tour and this great story that he has. If you want to hear it, you're hearing it backstage. It sounds interesting. He gave me a little pre-story. Like, now it's time to hear this.
I thought we heard the story already.
And this creates the 3 world tours they've been on for the last 6 months. So this sounds really good.
Yeah.
All right.
And this is the first show they did together, all 4 of them.
So this, the first show that me, Kevin, John, and Eric ever played together. We only ever did 2 shows with all 4 original members. And so this was on February 25th. We released 1087 on February 25th and played the album release show on February 25th in Brooklyn, just to commemorate this whole experience and the year of everything, I guess, just all the work we put in. But so on February 24th, Kevin came to Albany from Boston. He was at Berkeley College at the time, and John was at SUNY Purchase. I was in Albany. And my friend Brian, who also goes by Bezo, he runs the venue in Albany, Hudson Station. He used to have a really big minivan at the time. So, I mean, he was a great friend for letting us just go. Like, his whole attitude was like, hey, I get to see a great show and come along for this great experience, so I might as well just throw me some gas money and, you know.
Yeah.
It was great.
Start this. Yeah, that's
so
good.
We were able to fit all of our gear in the van.
The drums, the guitar, everything.
Yeah. We wouldn't have a drum kit, but we got everything surprisingly.
Okay.
With
and the amps.
The amps, all the living stuff. We brought a crap ton of shit. And so
like a tour baby, you kind of.
Yeah. So the 3 of us are hanging out at Declan's old apartment before we actually lived there. So I guess on Myrtle Avenue in Albany.
You gotta drop that.
I gotta drop the Addy.
Yo, it's
Iconic address, if you know, you know. So we were waiting there, and so John was at SUNY Purchase, and he said he had a friend who was going to drive him up with a car. So let's say we got there about like 5 o'clock. John was supposed to get there at 8. You know, we're going to hang out, get our stuff ready. And got on the phone with John. Like, okay, I left SUNY Purchase. I'm on the way. And so we're sitting there, you know, we waited about like an hour and a half before we're like, oh, maybe we should ask him for an update or anything. And, I guess here's some preface to the story. February 25th in New York in 2021 was probably the biggest blizzard that we had in the past like 2 or 3 years.
What year is this?
2021.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
No, wouldn't it be 2022?
Oh yeah, February. Yeah, 2022. My bad. I was still in fucking high school in 2021. So probably the biggest blizzard we got in a while. So we're in Albany, and when it started snowing, we didn't think that much of it. We didn't know what was gonna happen. John left SUNY Purchase, and so the hour and a half goes by. We try to get in contact with John, and we don't get anything. He's not picking up the phone. He's not texting. And then I think another hour goes by, and we keep trying to get in contact with him.
And is it snowing?
Nothing. And
Okay.
I think maybe like another 30 minutes went by after that. So we're like 3-4 hours into this whole thing already. It's like we got there at 5. It's like 9 p.m. And John finally gets on the phone. He says, "Hey, I'm on the side of the highway right now. This driver is being so annoying. I'm going absolutely crazy. His car's breaking down on the highway right now. There's like nothing we can do. He's giving me an ultimatum. Either I could stay on the side of the highway and wait for you guys, or he's gonna drive back to Purchase." And so we didn't know what was gonna happen. We told him, "Can you just wait there? We'll leave. We'll be really quick. We'll try to be there as soon as we possibly can." Because where he was only an hour from Albany. He was saying, and he gets off the phone, and all we're left with is we think this kid is stranded on the highway. He's gonna die. He's gonna get hit by a car. Something's gonna happen. There's 5 feet. There's just a crazy amount of snow outside. It's just
Now it starts snowing.
oh, it's been snowing for 4 hours at this point.
Okay, so you're dealing with that stress and you're dealing with that.
Yeah, the car is packed. We're ready to go.
So you guys go to.
And we've just been waiting for him. So then we're all right, he's not saying what this answer to the ultimatum is. We're just gonna drive to where he said he was.
Yeah.
And we get there, and we're waiting around for 20 minutes or so, just calling him. I was like, "Can you send me your location?" And nothing was working out. And then we eventually got in contact with him. He's like, "Hey, I'm back at SUNY Purchase." So we're it's mind you, we started driving at 10 p.m. And with all the snow and everything, we were in Sugarty's, is where he said he was. And so by the time we got there, it was about midnight, 1 a.m. And from there, we were like, "Shit, well, I guess we have to go drive to SUNY Purchase." I wish we would have known this in the beginning. We could have just drove there. But, so with all this snow, from midnight, we got to SUNY Purchase at 7 in the morning. Normally, this would be hour and a half to 2 hours drive.
In the morning.
So yeah, it took us all that time just to get there, and it's insane. We were driving behind the snow plows when they were just getting to the highways, and so from there, from SUNY Purchase, 45 minutes from the city, we got to drive to fucking Syracuse in the snowstorm.
This is all because you're doing it for a show.
Yeah, all just for a show.
Okay, and the show happened.
The show did happen.
Okay.
Because it snows a lot in Syracuse, so it's just
upstate.
So it's another day.
Yeah, it's just another day in Syracuse for them.
Everyone was normal with it. Everyone was okay, whatever.
And
Insane.
So our friend Brian was driving this whole time, and he's pretty fucking tired. He's been driving for hours. So I start driving once we get to SUNY Purchase, and then we start driving to Syracuse, and it's just snowing. It's crazy. Fast forward, we got to Syracuse at noon. So we started driving at 10 p.m. the night before, and we just got to our destination at noon, and it's just absolutely fucking insane. We got there, we went to sleep, and we woke up and just basically ate and immediately played the show, and it was one of the best shows ever. There's a bunch of great pics from it, and obviously this was just a whole crazy experience. So that's why I wanted
something
to
happen. Come on, guys, that's so good.
No matter what, the show will happen.
Yes.
And the next day, we played at Bard College with Dog Date and Hello Mary. Hello Mary is just amazing.
Shout out Hello Mary.
Shout out
all played
Dog Date.
all together. Those two.
Yeah, those two shows.
Okay.
Those
is
were
so
the only
fire.
shows where the original CPS lineup ever played together. After that, me, Kevin, and Eric played in Albany with Phil and drummer. And yeah, soon after that, college was over. We played a couple gigs. Eric moved to Florida and California. And then, college started up again. We started to play a couple more gigs. Things just got really complicated because, the two guys down there don't have cars. I have a car that's like on the way out, it's breaking down. It makes a million weird noises. So, it wasn't really safe. So, hooked it up a little bit different, but I like where we are. I like what we got. I wouldn't change it. So that leads me into the tour that we're on now. So once we started playing together, we played our first show.
Tour 3.
This is our third tour with this lineup. I would say that this whole Syracuse experience was like, hopefully the worst it's gonna get. I wish I had some wood to knock on, but
It should be. There's not more snow. You're in the summer.
yeah, we're in the summer, but like, hopefully when the winter season
But now you're
starts,
pretty more better planned because you have to go through experiences to learn.
Exactly.
So now you're probably way better equipped.
That was fucking horrible. When we were at Syracuse, Eric was in the dorms, and Eric had to sneak us into Syracuse because they still had like all the COVID protocols, and
It was a heist.
it was crazy. Like Eric had to sneak us in through like this crazy back door. Like we set the alarm off. We had to like bolt as quick as we can, like up like 10 flights of stairs. Like that experience was just fucking insane, and hopefully it doesn't get as bad as that. But it was very much an experience, praying. But we started playing in Albany, and once we got to January, our friend Zeke, who's running in a venue in Albany called Caesar's Palace, started becoming a booking manager. And so he sent us out on our first tour with this band Blue Envy from Rochester. They're great. And so we did weekenders. So it was like we got back from winter break, and right when the semester started, that first weekend, we started the tour. So every weekend from January to February, we were playing gigs all around. We played in Binghamton, Albany, Rochester, Ithaca. No, we didn't play in Rochester and Ithaca there. I'm my bad. We played. Hold on, let me get the tour poster out.
Played a lot of places.
We played a lot of
Too many
places.
to count.
Many play. That's good. A lot of shows with different people.
Oh yeah, 3 tours in a year is a lot, but
It
I
is.
feel like
I'm kind of surprised that I was able to pass all my classes this year.
Yeah, surprisingly, we have passed all our classes in college. It's crazy.
It's
But
possible. You got not just have to. Yeah,
Be
it's
boys
possible.
with your professors. So we played in Binghamton, Vermont, Clifton Park, New York, Albany, Saratoga, Allston, Massachusetts, Lowell, Massachusetts, and Oneonta. And that ended February 18th. And then the next weekend right after that was February 25th, the year anniversary of this whole crazy story. So that's when we released the album 1087, and we played the album release show. And for 1087, I might as well shout out Joe Ippolito liked this album. He also engineered it and he mastered it, and Eric Brower did the mixing and production, and they all did a great job. And then, right after that release show, the next weekend, we started the 1087 tour for the album release. We went to Bard College, we went to Rochester, Albany, Ithaca, Kearney, New Jersey, New York City. We went to Staten Island, Marvin's Party, Richmond Tattoo, and then we ended it again in Albany at the Rat's End.
All those places. That's
All great shows. And so then we were like, we want to try to branch out to some new places this tour, like we did the last one. So we're very happy that we're going out to North Carolina. We're leaving tomorrow. I don't know when this podcast is coming out, but it's Tuesday today.
It's Tuesday today.
Today's midnight.
So, tomorrow we leave for North Carolina. We're playing one
third
show
tour.
on Thursday, and then we have a couple days off.
We have
until-
2 days off. We're going to celebrate Eden's birthday here, 19th
Relax,
birthday.
Enjoy your time. Relax a lot. It's time to go crazy.
Once that's done, we're shooting from North Carolina all the way up to Rochester.
We got a show in North Carolina Thursday and Sunday in Boone, and then Winston-Salem with the best clout chaser one of the best bands.
I love you, Cloud Chaser.
The official math rock police, the goats. Yeah.
Again, going up to Rochester, then east to Ithaca, then back west to Buffalo, and then what's after that?
And then we're playing in Binghamton, and then we're ending it in Albany. But who knows? We might add some more shows.
Go off.
Maybe.
That was a great podcast. This was CPS.
Thank you so much for having us, Marvin.
Go see their Instagrams. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Our Instagram is cps.cps.cps. We have an online merch store in the bio where you can buy some of our merch. You can only get it on the website. We won't have it in person. So yeah, that's really cool. And then if come to our shows, you know, we got cool shit. Marvin's got some booty shorts. Why don't you show them off in the camera?
We be shredding.
Freaking CPS over here.
Get your booty shorts from us. Get your basketball shorts from us.
Get everything from
Gotta
them.
do some new shit.
And then I showed you a clip of their video, one of their recent shows.
Yeah, we're gonna
And
add
it
a
was
little
fucking
snippet of a demo from our new album at the end
Send
of
me a
this.
new one, old one, and yeah.
We're gonna send some good stuff.
Little sneak peek.
Little sneak peeks at the end of this podcast.
It was great. Thanks for joining us.
Evan Randall is motherfucking Bing chilling. You already know it.
Big
Thank you,
chillin'.
Marvin.
Anytime.